Welcome back to We're Having Fun. This is the podcast where we have fun, and I am Mark. Hello.
Hi, I'm Krista.
Hello.
I don't know why I said it that way.
Yeah.
That's not how I usually say my name.
Krista.
I'm Krista. Hi.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
We're back. Hello.
You act like we haven't had an episode in a while. We had one.
It's been a
last
while,
week.
guys. It's been a week.
It's been a whole week.
Lots happened since then. Bridgerton. You watched Bridgerton.
I did watch Bridgerton.
You want to give us short thoughts on it, or no? Good, bad, ugly.
Okay, I'll say this. I liked it better than the first season.
Okay.
But that's because I didn't really like the first season.
Right.
I know everybody loved the first season.
Yeah.
I was not. I mean, it was fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on a series of books, of course. I've read all the books. I actually read all the books before I started watching the first season.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the first book.
Right.
Because what happened? There's something that happens in it that I do not agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, they kept it in the show. And I was like, you could have changed that.
I think I remember you telling me, and it wasn't great.
I mean, you can keep this in or you can take it out, but the main girl sexually assaults her husband so she can have a child.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. That is not cool.
That's not great.
Not great, exactly.
Weird thing to do and leave in there.
Yeah, it was a little bit worse in the books, though, but still, it was bad, and I just can't like it because of that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I wouldn't like that either.
But I did like all the other storylines in it. It was just like the main romance. I was like, oh gosh, why?
No, thank you.
But I kept reading the series and everything, and I liked all of the other books in the series.
Okay, so
there was nothing else that completely terrible in there. So I was really excited for the second season because it was based on the love story from the second book, which is one that I really like, and was very good. I liked it. I liked it a lot better than the first season. Good.
Did they deliver on their promise of less butts in this one? Or was there about the same footage?
I think there were probably less butts.
Oh, okay. Good.
There was a lot less nudity.
Okay.
And I liked that better.
Yeah.
Not that I'm like some crazy prude or anything, but there comes a point where I'm like, okay, there's no mystery at all about what this person looks like unclothed.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's just kind of unnecessary at a certain point.
Once you've seen the same two people naked 10 times.
Yeah. It gets tiresome.
I'm like, can you not? So, yeah, I liked it. I liked it much better. I know a lot of people were like, you're taking out some of the nudity. How dare you? And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Those pervs.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I did enjoy it. So I will definitely be watching the next season. Hopefully it'll be pretty good. I think the third one, like each one of them has one of the Bridgerton children. There are 8 of them. They each have their own little love story, and I think they're still going to keep it the way they are doing it right now, which is each book/season is, based on one love story for each one of them.
Yeah.
So the next one will be Benedict. He didn't actually get
No. Oh.
He didn't get a lot of screen time in this season. He got more screen time in the first season, which was weird because I was like, okay, but his is supposed to be the next one. But his is kind of like a Cinderella story kind of thing, so it'll be interesting.
Okay. Sounds cool. I, this week, read Paper Girls. It's a comic series about 4 teenage girls that deliver papers. Okay. And then they meet up one night and they're going to deliver papers on the same street. They got kind of a similar route. And then crazy stuff starts happening. And it just goes, it's this really sci-fi thing. And I won't tell you anymore but it was really, really good. I highly recommend it. It's an indie comic deal. So, I think Image did it. And they have a great relationship, the friends do, and deals with a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff about growing up and everything. And it's great. So, Paper Girls. Okay, well, you're not telling me any of the plot whatsoever, and I'm just kind of like, anything. I don't know if I want to read this now. I can't. If you it deals with, I really don't want to spoil any of it, but I mean, there's like I'll say there's like time travel.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
I do like time travel stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
If they do it really well.
do it well. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. So yeah, go read it.
Cool.
It's gotten a lot of good reviews. That's why I read it, and it was worth it. So, want to get into Iron Man?
Sure. There's
All
nothing
right.
else we need to talk about?
Is there?
I haven't even looked at my March Madness thing, so I'm pretty much done I'm out of everything now.
A lot of us, we're all pretty much done.
Yeah, all of my champions are out.
All of our random brackets are done, basically, except like one of mine. But
okay.
yeah, just because St. Peter's is for some reason winning everything.
What in the world, St. Peter's? How dare you?
I don't know. We'll see. We're recording on Sunday, so we'll see if they beat North Carolina today.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be tonight sometime.
Who was it that was playing? I forget who it was that was playing Thursday, I think it was. And
Gonzaga and
I was
Arizona.
getting very annoyed. Was that who it was? Gonzaga and Arizona?
Yeah,
and they both lost.
Yeah.
And they were like the two champions I had remaining in my bracket. So I was like, oh, so we're doing this. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
I think it ruined a lot of people's brackets there. So
I was counting on you. You were the chosen one.
Why? Yeah, I don't think... I think it's another year of no perfect brackets. No surprise there.
Yeah.
Especially after Kentucky lost immediately. Yeah. So
the last that I saw, because I did the women's championship too. I did a bracket for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the last I saw, it was not doing that great, but it was doing better than the ones I had for the men's. So
nice.
Who knows? I might do really well on it.
Hope so. Maybe you're going to win a new Nissan or something.
I don't think I'll be doing that well.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
If we think of something else, we'll just insert it in the middle of Iron Man.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to mention, by the way. But no, this is Iron Man. Mm-hmm. We talked about this, I think, maybe on the first episode of like ideas we were going to maybe do. And one of them was like, hey, maybe we should do a Marvel movie once a month. Just one movie.
I'm not sure if it probably wasn't the first episode, but maybe the first episode where we talked about a Marvel movie.
Maybe.
So I think that may have been like Black Widow.
Could be.
So that was still pretty early on, though.
It was early.
And yeah, because I've said several times, I can't even remember what happened in some of these movies. So,
yeah, and I haven't had a rewatch in a long time. Mm-hmm. So
I've rewatched a few of them, not recently, but within the past 2 years probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But other than that, no.
Yeah, there's just some of them I'm surprised I haven't gone back and watched, but I just, I don't have time. Yeah. And there's Marvel movies all the time, so I've got plenty to watch.
I'm pretty sure the last one that I rewatched was the first Guardians of the Galaxy, and I think you were here too.
Yeah, it was on.
We watched it together.
It was on just cable.
Yeah, it was just on TV, and we were like, "Oh, we'll watch Guardians."
Yeah,
and yeah, that was the last
one.
It. Mm-hmm.
It was accomplished.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get them all done by the time Doctor Strange comes out.
No.
By the time Moon Knight comes out next week.
Yeah, we're gonna do them all right now.
Yeah, or this weekend, I guess.
No,
whenever this comes out. So yeah,
it'll be a while. Maybe like one Marvel per month kind of thing. Yeah, because we've got other series that we're still working through.
Yeah. By the way, Moon Knight, I'm like looking forward to it, but I'm not like getting expectations up.
Okay.
I'm kind of expecting like this will just be a Marvel thing, and I'm fine with watching that.
Okay,
but if it blows me away, awesome.
I mean, I've heard it's going to be kind of dark.
Oh yeah,
and that's okay. Dark. I do really like Oscar Isaac.
Yeah,
so that's really the only reason I'm here right now for this.
And you know what else I really like is Ethan Hawke. I always like him and stuff. I don't know why. I don't
really care about Ethan Hawke.
I don't know why. I've just had this like thing with Ethan Hawke forever.
I've never really watched any of his movies and gone, "Oh, this is amazing."
Yeah.
So,
he was
he was in, what was he in? He was in
a lot of good
Dead Poet Society, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that one. Okay, I take it back then because I love Dead Poet Society. I just haven't seen it in a long time.
He was good in Hamlet too, the musical one.
Okay.
With Steve Coogan. No, I love that movie though. By the way, have you ever seen Hamlet 2?
I have not seen it.
Oh, we should watch Hamlet 2 sometime.
We'll have to watch it sometime.
I actually really like that movie. He was in the new Magnificent Seven.
He's in a movie coming out That I just told you about yesterday, that The Northman.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like Alexander Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård.
And Nicole Kidman and Ethan Hawke. Bjork is in it, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's got the girl from Queen's Gambit, whose name I can never rember.
Yeah, I don't ever remember her name either.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah.
That's it. I got it.
You nailed it.
And, so they're in it, but it's like a Viking kind of version of Hamlet, I think. Because his dad is like the leader of the pack, and somebody comes in and kills him, and he comes back to
spoilers for Hamlet.
sorry about that.
You had thousands of years. I don't know,
but I mean, Hamlet was based on the story of Amleth, and that's who Alexander Skarsgård plays in it. So,
okay.
Yep. And
cool.
Nicole Kidman is his mother.
Oh, wait. Whose mother?
Alexander Skarsgård.
Okay. All right.
Which is funny because I'm pretty sure they were in a movie or in a TV show where they were married, maybe?
I don't know. I can't even remember. You say Skarsgård, and I just can't remember which one or who that is.
Okay, he was in True Blood.
I didn't see it. Is he the main guy? Or Anna Paquin's husband? No. Well, then I definitely don't know.
No, he was Eric Northman. Which is kind of funny because he's in a movie called The Northman. And he was a Viking and turned into a vampire while he was a Viking.
Oh, okay.
But this is not a a prequel to True Blood, as far as we know.
We'll see. Stick around for the after credits.
It's that guy. Do you not recognize him at all?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, I recognize him.
Yep.
Because I've watched a lot of True Blood.
Yeah.
But his dad is Stellan Skarsgård, who we will see in Thor when we watch it.
Yeah, I recognize his name.
But there's like a whole brood of Skarsgårds.
Yeah.
And another one was in The Eternals, but only his voice.
Which one?
Because he was Crow or whatever his
Crow
name is. Yeah. That's what I always think of. Was that the character's name? It was like the Deviant?
Oh, no, his name was...
What is his name?
It was close to Crow. Maybe it was like KROS or something.
I thought it was like KRO, but I'm not sure.
It's Lord. Oh man, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, he was a very memorable character.
Yes, it was KRO. Crow.
KRO. Okay, I was wrong.
But yeah, that was another one of the Skarsgård boys who was also Pennywise in It.
Yeah.
He's real weird looking.
Wow.
Sorry. Can't remember your name, Skarsgård. What is
Peter?
his name?
Alexander? No. Peter? James? John? No. Lee? Lucifer?
What is his name? Oh no, I'm never gonna remember.
William?
Never gonna remember now.
Benedict Skarsgård?
No. Bill. It's Bill.
No.
Wow. Okay, that was a lot easier than
William.
I thought.
I nailed it.
So I guess it was William. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, anyway,
we're
back.
We have gone on such a tangent on the Skarsgård people.
Ethan Hawke also in Training Day.
Which I've never seen.
It's very good. Anywho, let's talk about Iron Man.
Okay.
This was the first start off the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Back in 2008.
Were we ever so young? I don't know where I was or what I was doing, but I'm sure it was... Oh, no, I remember where I was. Not great. Not Disney at this point. It's a Paramount.
It is Paramount,
You pointed out.
Yeah, but it is on Disney+. Plus.
It is, yes.
The Incredible Hulk, however, is not.
Nope.
So...
When we watch it, we're going to have to watch it somewhere else. Which, luckily, we read is going to be on HBO Max apparently next month. So,
yeah.
Look forward to that. Because we certainly are.
Excited.
It's not as bad. It's just really not memorable.
Okay.
It's better than Hulk, at least.
Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of it, because I feel like I've seen one part where the Hulk and, what's her name, Betsy, are... Betty, whatever.
Yeah.
I always want to call her Betsy, because Betsy Ross.
Yeah.
But it's Betty Ross.
Yeah.
They're like in a cave together or something.
Yeah, you know how they do.
You know how
Always
they...
in caves.
How they do. Exactly. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I saw this at the drive-in theater with my mother.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Because it has Robert Downey Jr. And of course, we were both like, hey.
Hello.
Hello, Robert Downey Jr.
We need to be in a car by ourselves. We don't want other people ruining our Downey Jr. experience.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm sure we probably saw like a double feature with something else. I don't know what else, because I don't know what else was out at the same time as that.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Maybe an X-Men movie was out.
Maybe.
Probably not.
But yeah, we used to go to the drive-in theater a lot.
Yeah.
On like a Friday or Saturday night, we'd just pop some popcorn and take it with us, and sometimes stop by the Pizza Hut and grab a pizza too, and just
good deal.
Sit in the car and watch some movies.
Nice. Yeah, I kind of miss the drive-in a little bit. Anyway, then. So Iron Man, I guess it begins in, I guess it's supposed to be like the Middle East, probably Iraq or something. Or Afghanistan, probably Afghanistan. And he's in a convoy with some soldiers.
Yes.
Taking pics, having fun, joking.
No gang signs.
Very Robert Downey Jr. being very charming.
Mm-hmm.
And I read that the script for this wasn't really finished.
Oh,
so a lot of it is just a lot of improv. So a lot of the very charming, realistic sounding Downey Jr. stuff is probably just him just being him. Just being great. And which apparently Gwyneth Paltrow had a lot of issues with because she's not good at it. So she was trying.
I mean, considering that she didn't even realize she was in a Spider-Man movie.
Paltrow was in a Spider-Man movie? Oh, the new ones. I forgot that those exist.
Yes, as Pepper Potts.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, I was in a Spider-Man movie? It's like, girl. Yes. Okay,
yeah.
but...
And Jeff Bridges apparently didn't like that the script wasn't finished, but then he realized, we can just have fun. So he just had fun at that point. So I kind of like that because I think it did kind of add a little realism to it. It did seem like Robert Downey Jr. just talking to people.
Yeah, he seemed to be having a lot of fun.
He did.
You know,
what a life.
I love. Okay, well, we haven't gotten there yet, but I love when he finally gets back and they have the conference.
It's a good conference.
But we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, because his convoy gets blown up.
Yep.
All the soldiers in the car with him shot. They're dead.
Yep, all those poor little people.
Yeah.
I say little people, but...
tiny little people.
Those poor tiny little Putians.
Yeah. But, like, they immediately, once they get out, they're just shot up. No matter where they are on the car, they are just dead.
Yeah.
But he gets out and just flails around running and not shot. And he's just like, I guess since they're going for him, they didn't want to shoot him, maybe.
Yeah. And the thing is, at one point, like when the guy is sitting next to him, the one that was asking for selfies and everything. Although technically, I guess it wasn't a selfie because I think one of the other guys took the picture.
It did.
But when he got out, he immediately got shot. But then there were like bullet holes all in the car. I was like, how did he not get hit?
None of those hit him. Yeah. I was like, what's happening?
Okay.
What is this car?
And you don't have like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like the safest car to be driving around in if they can just shoot you through the... Yeah. Straight through the car.
Very little armor protection, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
Where they've got like super bullets, which apparently they might have.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Because he's hiding behind a rock and a missile lands next to him. Yes. Which is very nice of that missile not to blow up immediately.
Yeah.
And it says...
to give him time to like walk 2 feet and then get blown up.
And he gets to read it. Really
he just go, Stark Industries. It's one of mine. Okay.
Yeah. Oopsies.
Which kind of made me think of Wanda, because...
Oh, yeah. One landed in their house.
But it didn't explode.
Oh, yeah. It was a dud.
Yeah, so...
I bet he was wishing this one was a dud.
Yeah, probably, because it blows up and he flies... Yeah. And I was like, he doesn't look like he's too hurt. And then suddenly you see blood start.
Yeah, but still, he was right next to that palm. It should have just charred his face
I was going to say, he should be Two-Face at this point.
Yes. He should be super hurt. But no, he's got a lot of shrapnel.
Maybe since it was just a small one, it wasn't as bad.
And I like that really the shrapnel only went through his bulletproof vest.
And not like
not
anywhere else on his body that was exposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to keep him looking good, you know?
I mean, come on, you got Robert Downey Jr.
That's right. People came to see it. I guess then he's taking captured by the
he's
guys.
captured.
They're doing a video. It's the 10 rings symbol.
Exactly. He's got like the bag over his head and they take the bag off. They're doing a video. He can't understand what they're saying. And there's a 10 rings thing in the background. So it's like, oh, wow, the 10 rings.
Yeah. This is probably going to lead into something interesting.
Nope.
Well.
I mean, it's not the same
it's
10
interesting.
rings. But yeah.
Yeah. So... And then we kind of flash back.
Yeah, so it's like 24 hours before, I think.
Something like that. 24 to 48, somewhere in there.
Something like that. And he is, there's the Apogee Award in Las Vegas. And he's the one who's supposed to be getting the award. And you've got Rhodey up there, James Rhodes.
Terrence Howard playing the part. Biggest linchpin of the MCU.
So yeah, he's up there presenting it. But Tony's not there, of course. So Obadiah Stane goes up and he accepts the award.
And we got a big montage deal of them talking about he's a wunderkind taking over his family's business.
Talking a little bit about Howard Stark too.
Who we get to see, and it's a different actor than any of the other actors.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was, and that was his only thing. So
okay. I thought it was that same guy, because
they look pretty similar.
Yeah, they do look similar. It looked like he just didn't have the, white hair or whatever the other guy has.
Nah, is a different dude.
They were similar enough, though.
They were, yeah. I was going into it like, I want to see the actor that, got screwed over, kind of. And, oh, wow, he really looked, I was very surprised. So, good for him.
So this was of course before they got everybody squared away in their roles, I guess.
Yeah, they were winging it here.
Oh boy. So Tony is gambling.
Yeah.
So
he's having a good time.
Rhodey goes and finds him and is like, dude.
Yeah.
Where were you, man?
Yeah. And he doesn't care about the award.
Yeah. He's like, he ends up giving it to somebody.
Yeah, he just gives it to Caesar. Render to Caesar what is Caesar's.
Exactly. He just gives it to some guy dressed as Caesar because they're in Caesar's palace in Las Vegas, and then he just walks out.
Yep.
But as they're leaving, he gets stopped by a reporter named Christine Everhart.
Mm-hmm.
And
Leslie Bibb or something?
Yeah, Leslie Bibb.
This part did not age. Oh, some of this movie did not age too well.
No. And so she's asking him all these questions.
Very serious. Like, well, your weapons being used, to kill whatever as war.
Yeah.
People are dying because of you. And
exactly.
She's like, how do you sleep at night? And he's like, really well, but I'd like to be sleeping with you or something like that.
I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's some pickup line that is so bad, and it works. And it's like, how?
She's like, what are her morals? She's like, you're killing people. You're a terrible person. Oh, you want to sleep with me? Okay. I'm all for it. Yeah.
It's like, girl.
It was bad. It was just... it's terrible. It just wanted to show he's good with ladies and whatnot, and that he's arrogant and doesn't care and whatever.
Exactly. She wakes up the next morning in his house in Malibu, and Pepper's there to take out the trash.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Pepper.
Yeah. Paltrow playing Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be on a plane heading somewhere in the Middle East.
To the middle, yeah.
And, of course, he's like 3 hours late or whatever. But he finally does get there.
Yeah, because he's working on something, and he's got a little lab down in his basement. I can't remember what he's working on.
Yeah, I can't
his car. That's what it was. Okay. That hot rod car.
Yeah, so... But he does eventually go to get on his plane.
Mm-hmm. Rhodey's been waiting 3 hours for him.
3 hours for him.
So I've been standing here for 3 hours.
Like, have you really, Rhodey?
Should have just gone and sat down, Rhodey. Mm-hmm. Aren't you used to this by now?
Exactly. But, so...
And Happy Hogan's also there, which is Jon Favreau.
Yes.
Which is, driver.
Mm-hmm. So he finally gets on the plane. They're heading out. He's like... I'm going to drink. And do you want to drink? And Rhodey's like, no, we're on the job. I can't drink. And then next thing you know, they're partying in the plane.
He's drunk.
All of the flight attendants are in there dancing around. There's a stripper pole that shows up at one point. It's like, okay. This is a bit much.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just showing that he's a playboy.
He is. He's a playboy bunny.
So then they finally get to where they're heading. He's talking about the new Jericho missile and does a demonstration of it. And almost knocks himself forward. like he kind of falls forward. The shockwave almost knocks him over, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then we're back where we started at the beginning, where he gets kidnapped, or
in the cave.
I say kidnapped, but captured is more like it, I guess.
Yeah.
And so he's in the cave.
He wakes up and he's got a battery attached to his chest because he's got an electromagnet in his chest that is keeping the shrapnel from going to his heart. Yeah, because the Dr. Jensen couldn't take out all the shrapnel.
Yeah.
And he only took out like 3 pieces.
He didn't get very much out of there.
How good is he, really? We're not sure.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But I like Jensen.
Yeah.
He's pretty cool.
Was good.
He's a nice little assistant. He seems like a pretty good guy.
Yep.
He helps out a lot. And he tells them that they've met before at a conference in Bern.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't remember.
But he doesn't remember him because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Because it's Tony Stark.
He meets a lot of people.
Exactly.
That's probably not going to come back to bite him later on in other movies.
Yeah, and that's probably not going to show up as a flashback in another movie either. Wink, wink.
It does.
Get ready for Iron Man 3. Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Because that's another one that I watched not too long ago, and I was like, oh, hey, it's that guy. I forgot he was in this.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen it since, like, it came out in the movie theaters 3. Yeah. It's been a while.
It is a Christmas movie, I think.
It is, yeah.
Too bad it's not around Christmas time, so.
Aren't all the Iron Man movies, aren't they set at Christmas time? Or is it just the third one? Yeah, it might just be the third one.
I think it's just the third.
Because whoever that director is, I can't remember who the director is, but he always like sets his movie at Christmas time. He did like Lethal Weapon or something too. I think. I could be wrong.
Well, the director for this one was Jon Favreau.
Right. So yeah, that's why I think you're right. It's just the third one.
Yeah, I think it's just the third. Anyway, but he finds out that they want him to build a Jericho missile for them, and he's like, no.
It's like, do they think he makes them? You know, like he maybe comes with the design, but do they think he actually like builds them?
Yeah,
we know he can.
He can, of course. But exactly.
How do they know he can?
I don't know, but anyway, he's like, no. So they're like, well, we're gonna torture you, and so
Shane Black. Anyway, go ahead. That was the director of Iron Man 3.
And so he's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. But he's not actually going to do it.
Yeah.
Because instead, he's like, I'm going to build a way out of here for us.
Because, I mean, they make him tour the place. And it's like, bro, we got all your weapons anyway. Yep. You've been giving us weapons anyway, so just build us something.
Exactly.
And then when you do, we're going to let you go. And
he's
he's like, okay, you're not going to let me go.
And he's like, he's not going to let you go. And he's like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not actually going to do it because you're not actually going to let me go.
No, we're both liars.
Exactly. So he makes an arc reactor to replace the magnetic is what I want to say. The electromagnet that he's got in his chest.
Yep. He uses palladium, I think is what he uses.
Yes, that sounds correct. And then he starts working on the Iron Man suit. Yeah. And he's got like the blueprints for it on several different pieces of paper, and you can only tell what it shows, like the whole suit, if you like press down on it.
Yeah, if you line them all up.
Yeah, if they're lined up correctly and you press down on it, you can see what he's doing.
He should never have that out, but he or at least separate it unless he really needs it.
Well, I mean, they still don't realize what it is. Yeah. Until he walks out in it.
They're dumb.
They're pretty dumb.
They let him just build obvious, like, he builds a mask. like what's that going to do?
Making all this stuff that looks like it's for a suit. And they're like, no, it's just turned around a different way. That's just a different angle. It's like, are you stupid? I think you're stupid.
You have missiles, go look at your missile.
And then go, oh, that doesn't look the same as this thing that he's building.
Yeah. And they're watching over monitors. If you really have questions, just go in there and look at it.
So dumb. Yeah. But I mean, they are the bad guys, so I guess they're
We need dumb bad guys.
Exactly. So he's building the suit and everything. They haven't figured out what he's doing, and they're like, he's not doing it fast enough. So there's one guy. Yeah. Because there are like two guys who you think are the main guy, but one of them is kind of more like his little crony or whatever.
Henchman, yeah.
And then there's the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Who is technically not the main bad guy.
Yeah, it's true.
But the bad guy of those guys.
Yeah.
And he comes in, he's like, okay, you need to do this. You're not working fast enough.
I don't torture Jensen.
Exactly. So he's gonna torture Jensen. He's like, I'm working on it. And just give me a minute, you know.
Yeah, he's like, I need him. I don't hurt.
Exactly.
I can't do it without him.
Exactly. He's like, all right, you got one day.
Yep.
It's like, okay.
Oh, no.
So they're like, all right, well, we gotta
let's build this armor.
Finish this tonight so we can get out of here.
Yep. And when he builds the arc reactor, he's like, man, this could keep you alive for 1,500 years or something. I don't know.
I think it was only like 50 years.
I think it was a long time. Honestly.
I think it was only 50 years though. It wasn't that. It wasn't that long. It's the one that he makes later.
Well, yeah, that one. It's better, but yeah. Anyway,
I'm pretty sure it's only 50 years because I was like, well, I mean,
it'd be. I think it was like 50 lifetimes. I honestly think it was like a long time. He said. Okay. Anyway, he said, or they could build something or power something big for 15 minutes.
Yes.
So it's gonna be this suit.
Yes. So they start putting it together. Jensen is like soldering it on, soldering it together while Tony's like sitting there
soldering it.
Whatever.
And then they're just they notice they're not on the cameras.
They notice that Tony's not on the cameras.
Yeah.
But Jensen's
is like working on somebody or something.
Yeah. So they're like, go check that out. Go see what's going on.
Yeah.
So 2 guys go to check it out. So they get there, they knock on the door, and Jensen's like, sorry, can't come in. We're working on something.
Busy.
We're busy.
We're naked.
Don't come in, we're naked. And they try to come in, and there's like a bomb or whatever on the door, and it blasts them, it kills those guys, and so it takes out like one of the cameras, and the people watching the cameras are like, get in there, something crazy's going on.
And I wondered, like, they built these bombs, like, just build a bunch of bombs. Just keep throwing bombs down the hall until they're dead. Right? But, you know.
They might like it might like cave in the place or something. They might get stuck in there.
Could be.
I don't know.
Could be.
Anyway, but so they're coming to get him to figure out what's going on.
Yep.
And they have some kind of program that they're putting into the suit, I guess.
Yeah, he's like getting it online, I guess, putting all the power from the converter into the suit or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's going to take a little bit longer than they expected.
Yeah, it's like downloading a song on dial-up. Or any kind of file on dial-up back in the day.
Yeah, so it's like, it's going to take 2 minutes, 4 minutes,
3
8 minutes. It's like, oh no! Jensen's like, well, I'll distract him while this goes, while this finishes. Mm-hmm. So he goes out, and he's got a gun, and he's just shooting
wildly in the air. Yeah, what was he doing?
He doesn't want to kill anybody. He's not a killer.
But first of all, why is he running after them? He scares them away. Mm-hmm. He can hang back and get some cover or something and fire wildly in the air again if he wants, just to hold them back. He doesn't have to chase them, does he? If he's not killing anyone, he's eventually going to run into more people. It's going to be an issue.
I mean, he could just kind of like stay at the edge of the door and peek out and shoot toward them.
Exactly.
And, but...
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's weird.
But he gets out and there's a bunch of bad guys.
Yeah. They're just like, oh, hey, bro.
They're like, oh, there's only one of you. Okay, I think we can take you.
Yeah.
But finally the download finishes. Tony starts walking down
town. Yeah.
Walking down, or I guess not really walking, it's more like stomping. Stomping through the cave.
Yeah.
And comes out and just starts going crazy. Killing people.
Knocking people around. Flamethrower in everyone. The main guy comes out. He shoots a rocket at him and knocks some rocks down on top of him. Mm-hmm.
And burns his face. Mm-hmm. Which we'll see later. Mm-hmm. And then Jensen is there. Yeah. And he's like, no, you have to survive. You have to go see your family. Because he had been talking about his family and everything. And he's like, no, my family's dead. I'm going to see my family now by dying. And he's like, oh.
But you said this was always the plan. He only went out there because it wasn't done yet. And it needed more time. So
I guess it was
his plan
always...
to just always die.
Yeah, his plan was always to die, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
to
know.
sacrifice himself.
I don't know what his original way of doing that was going to be.
I don't know.
Especially if he's behind an armor guy.
Guess we'll never know, because he's dead now.
He did. It worked. Maybe it was his plan. Maybe he did it real slow.
Who knows?
And then he's like, I'm going to go out there.
So yeah, Jensen's dead. Tony gets out. There are a bunch of people still outside. He looks cool stomping out there and just starts going crazy on everybody.
That's why he does the flamethrower, yeah.
And kills people, starts burning all of the supplies.
All the missiles and such.
And then after everything's on fire, he just flies out of there.
Boosts on out, yeah.
Like, deuces.
Yeah.
And he's out. And he flies a little bit, and it doesn't last very long.
Nope. He just lands in a dune.
And, yep, he lands in a dune.
Yep.
The suit is broken, so he starts, like, taking it off. And then he goes to try to find somebody to help him. And then these two military helicopters fly over. Yeah, exactly. Very
Rhodey's
lucky.
in one of them. I guess Rhodey never gave up.
Yeah, so very lucky. Lucky that they didn't just shoot first and ask questions later. But yeah, so he gets rescued.
Yeah.
And he goes back.
And whenever they were getting into that convoy that got blown up, Robert Downey Jr. would let Rhodey into his because he said it was the fun V. You can't get in the fun V. And he's been in this cave for like months, probably.
Yeah.
And Rhodey shows up and is like, how's that fun V now? Or something like that.
So he's like, next time you'll ride with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, but if you'd been in there, you would be dead, Rhodey.
It's true, but he's also just been saving this up.
I've been saving this for 3 months, man.
I'm going to find Tony. I'm going to do it just so I can rub this in his face. I'm going to do it. Get ready, Tony.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, he's rescued. He heads back to the U.S.
Yeah.
And Pepper's there, and Happy's there.
Obadiah, he's eventually there.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, first thing I want is an American cheeseburger. And I said, well, what other kind of cheeseburger is there? Why does it have to be an American cheeseburger? It was just a weird way of saying it.
An Australian cheeseburger made of kangaroos and wallabies.
I guess so. So yeah, he wants a cheeseburger before he goes to the press conference. And so you can see he gets Burger King.
Gets that Burger King, which was a shout out to Burger King, helped him get off of drugs because he was in such a bad spot. He went and got Burger King, and it was the most disgusting thing he'd ever eaten. So he's like, okay, I've hit rock bottom. I gotta stop. I gotta stop doing drugs. So yeah,
this is what my life.
King.
This is what my life has come to. I'm eating terrible Burger King. Oh, jeez.
Burger King got to do the toys for it and everything, so I guess they won out.
Good for them, I guess. I mean, honestly, I got sick after a Burger King birthday party one time when I was 8, and I didn't eat it again for probably 12 years. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't want this. And I very rarely have Burger King now. Because I love Burger King. Occasionally. Usually if they have the chicken fries, I get the chicken fries. Yeah. So I like those, but...
Well, yeah, I bet I've had some bad burgers from Burger King. I'm not saying it's all been a delight. Yeah. But I still love it.
I mean, I've had some bad burgers from other places too.
Oh, yeah. It happens.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, he goes into the press conference.
And we get to see Coulson. Agent Coulson's there.
And Tony gets up there to the podium and he just sits down and pulls a burger out of his pocket and starts eating. So funny.
He ate one on the way in. He apparently had been eating one in the limo.
In the limo because he's wiping his mouth. So he had 3 burgers.
Yeah, he was hungry.
But anyway, he makes all the reporters and stuff sit in the floor. And so he starts talking. And he does eventually stand up and get behind the podium. Yeah. And he's talking about how he doesn't want to make weapons anymore. And everybody's like, oh, shock. Oh, my goodness.
That's their main thing.
And Obadiah Stane's like, oh, no. He doesn't mean it.
Funny guy.
Oh, he's hilarious. He just needs some time. He's been...
It's had a rough couple days.
Yeah, so don't take all of this too seriously? And,
we'll talk about it.
Exactly. But yeah, Phil Coulson is there from S.H.I.E.L.D., although he keeps calling it the actual long name of S.H.I.E.L.D. instead of calling it S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Don't remember what it is. Something
it's not
home
worth
defense.
knowing. It's dumb. Strategic homeland. I don't know.
It's something, yeah. Defense is all I remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like, it's okay. Obadiah Stane's like, we're gonna have a private meeting and talk about this. And so he shows up at the private meeting riding a Segway, which immediately tips you off to the fact that he is a villain.
Yeah.
If he's arriving on a Segway, he's got to be the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like, no, I was being serious. We're not doing the weapon thing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, but that's kind of like all we do.
Yeah. That's a lot of money for us.
And he's like, too bad, because we're not doing it anymore, because I say so, and I'm the person in charge. So Obadiah Stane is not very happy.
Yeah, but he's got to convince the board also. There's also a board.
Exactly. So then it goes back to he has made a new arc reactor for his chest.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is the upgraded one. It's much better.
Yeah.
And he's trying to put it in, but there's a wire in there that is
touching
like...
the sides.
Yeah, that is messing stuff up. He can't get it in there because this wire is like where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so Pepper comes in. He's like, you have small hands. I need you to go in here and pull this out. But don't let it touch the sides. It's like Operation. And she's like, what's Operation? And I'm like, Pepper Potts. How do you not know what Operation is?
I feel like that was an improv thing that Gwyneth Paltrow just didn't know.
It's possible.
I've never played games.
She's like, I don't know what Operation is, but I can tell you all about Goop.
Yes. Is that a Goop product?
So anyway, she starts pulling the thing out.
Yeah, she grabbed that wire.
Uh-huh. And of course she accidentally touches the side. Mm-hmm. He's like, ooh. Zaps him a little bit.
She gets it out.
He
goes into cardiac arrest.
Yes, because he's like, pull it out, but don't pull too hard or something. Uh-huh. And of course, what does she do? She just pulls the whole
thing out. Yep.
And he's like... she's like,
okay.
What's happening? I'm just going into cardiac arrest. It's fine. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, here, put this in. So she puts the new arc reactor in there. Yeah. He's fine. And he's like, was that so hard?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And he tells her to throw it away.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, you don't want to keep it? And he's like, I'm not sentimental. And
I'm not nostalgic.
Yeah. Boy, is he glad he kept it. Or that she didn't throw it away.
Pepper Potts saves the day.
Mm-hmm. So then he can't remember what happens, but at some point he's talking to Jarvis, because I was like, man, I bet Paul Bettany just did not realize what his role was going to turn into.
He loved that role, because he would just come in for like a few minutes, record some lines, and then he's off.
He's done. Exactly. He's probably like, man, this is like the easiest gig I've ever had. And then suddenly he's having to be Vision, he's in WandaVision, he's doing all this
stuff. He's having to do a lot of prosthetics.
All this makeup.
Like, oops.
Oh, boy. So I'm sure he did not know what he was getting into, but I really like Paul Bettany as Vision and as Jarvis and everything. So
I like the idea of the Jarvis being just an AI deal instead of in the comics where he's like an actual butler, which we actually see Jarvis in Endgame or something.
Yeah,
he's go back in time.
He's in Endgame, and he was also in
Agent Carter.
In Agent Carter.
That's right.
And it's the same guy plays in both of them. Because I was like, because I've only seen like 1 or 2 episodes of Agent Carter.
I've never seen an episode.
And then I just kind of forgot that it came on. And I never watched it again. I need to watch it because I did like what I saw.
Did you?
And I remember seeing him and being like, oh, cool. They've got like human Jarvis. This is so neat.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he shows up in Endgame. And I was like, oh, nice. They got the same actor. That's so cool. So I was really excited about that.
Yeah. But I mean, he's got so many, he's got Happy. He's got Paltrow. He doesn't need a butler too.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Although Happy was in this, so little. There was, very little Happy, it seems like. I guess he shows up later and he's a little more involved later.
Yeah.
But
probably because he was directing.
He's like, I can't do too much.
Can't be in everything.
Exactly.
We need a Jarvis.
So, Jarvis. Pretty cool that Paul Bettany got to do all that. Then it goes to the bad guys in the desert. They found the suit the old suit that he took off in the dunes, and they're trying to get all the pieces to it so that they can put it back together and try to figure out how it works and everything. And while they're out there, the bad guy is out there with his nasty, like, half face.
Yeah.
Like, it burned... Like,
still bleeding.
It's still, like, moist.
Yeah.
It's so gross. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Should have a dressing on it.
Something on that. You are gonna... Because, I mean, there's, like, sand. So, a sandstorm going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not gonna feel good when you've got gritty sand in a burn wound.
Yeah. Not to mention infection chance.
Right.
So close to your brain.
Ew.
Like, bro, get it together.
Sir, you have a head wound.
Yes.
Cover that.
You have a head wound.
Sir, you have a head wound.
Are you aware that you have a head wound?
You need to cover that.
Cover your head wound, sir.
Oh, goodness. So, yeah. Then we go back. He's creating his own version, a new version.
Making it sleeker, better, faster, stronger.
Harder, better, faster. Harder, better, faster, stronger. And so he starts testing out the new suit. He's got the jetpack that he's working on, kind of thing. Or not jetpack, but it's like the thrusters in his boots and in his hands and everything. And so he's working on that.
And we're introduced to the best characters of the movie. The little robot arms.
Love the robot arms.
I love them so much.
Love the way he interacts with the robot arms.
So amazing how they make them like characters.
I know, it's so cute.
All they are just like arms with little things.
Yeah.
It's like Portal or something.
It's a lot like Portal.
Yeah.
So anyway, he the first try, he like flies himself straight into a wall.
Yes, immediately.
and he had told the little robot arm, if I catch on fire, extinguish me. Yeah. And of course, he's not on fire, but it extinguishes him anyway. He's like
spraying him.
Okay, I told you not to do this. He's like, don't do it again, unless I'm actually on fire.
You're freaking me out. Oh man, I love it so much.
So yeah, there's a lot of him testing out his suit.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Messes up his car. I guess that was later that he messed up his car because he like takes it for a test flight at some point.
I think that's about this time because once he finally gets everything fixed and he's like, okay, we're going to put it at like thrusters at like 1% and test that out. Yeah. Once he finally figures out how it should be going, he goes out. He takes it for a test flight.
Yep.
And he flies to, like, the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
Which I just checked Google Maps because I was like, is that actually really close to Malibu? It is really close to Malibu. Okay. So it is, good job.
All I know is
good job.
From Grand Theft Auto 5. That's all I really know from.
Good job, Paramount. You're not like, oh my gosh, one of the worst things was watching one of the Transformer movies. I can't remember which one it was.
All of them.
But it was like... Here's the pyramids in Egypt, and then right over there is Petra. I'm like, that is not even close. What are you doing? This is in Egypt. That's in Jordan. What are you doing? I'm like, I know the geography is off. You can't just look straight. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was very annoyed at that. That's why I was like, you know what? I don't have to watch Transformer movies anymore. I'm good.
Nobody's making me watch these.
I'm good.
And that one was a bad one. So
it was so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't watch another one until like Bumblebee, which actually wasn't bad.
Yeah. I haven't seen another one since that one.
I was like, oh, I can't. Anyway, so yes, he could easily do that. Yes. I was very excited to see that. So yeah, he flies by Santa Monica Pier. He looks in. There's like a little kid. That's the two little kids that are in the Ferris wheel there. One of them, or they're eating ice cream, and one of their ice cream cones, the ice cream falls out.
Down, yeah.
And then he's like, all right, we're going to test how far up I can go into the atmosphere.
Because, of course, you haven't run any diagnostics on it. Let's push
do
it to the limit. See if I die. Exactly.
So he goes up as high as he can. It starts, like, icing over. And Jarvis is like, bro, you might not want to do this. He's like, I'm doing it anyway. Because I'm Tony Stark.
That's what I do.
So, yeah, he gets up there. And he freezes over. And it, like, goes out. His suit basically goes out. Turns off. And so he has to do something to break the ice. And finally...
So he tells a funny joke.
Exactly. And so finally, once the ice is broken, it turns... He, like, starts falling. It turns back on. And he is able to get it started again.
He's got, like, emergency thing for the windfall flaps. He can open the flaps with his little emergency... What are those called? Thing you pull out. you know.
I don't know.
Anyway, he's got a little knob he pulls, and it pulls his
It's like an
flaps
emergency handle kind of thing that
Yeah.
he can grab.
breaks the ice and knocks those flaps open.
Exactly. So he makes it back and he's like, wow, this is pretty cool. And he's like hovering above on his like helipad kind of thing or whatever. And he's like, okay, let's turn it off. And as soon as he turns it off, he just goes straight through his living room, through the piano, all the way through down to his car, on top of his car, and just ruins it. Like,
destroys it.
Well, okay.
Oops.
Oopsie. So, yeah. And when at one point when he's down there, he sees that there's a package that Pepper has left for him. And so he opens it and looks at it. And he sees it's the old arc reactor. And it's got a little thing around it that says proof that Tony Stark has a heart.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very, very sweet.
Yes, very sweet. It's like, okay. So, but it's in like a little glass cube and everything, and he just sets it on his desk.
Yeah.
So then he hears...
Still seems powered up for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. I guess it doesn't
Maybe
stop
it's always,
being powered up.
I guess it's always powered up unless
sense.
something happens to turn it off. So I guess it'll keep going for however long it's supposed to go. So then he sees that he's watching the news or whatever. He sees that there's a charity ball that's happening, that it's supposed to be like Stark Industries charity ball, and he's not there. And they're like, yeah, he probably won't be here. And he's like, I'm going to show them.
Go. Yeah, because he's supposed to be laying low.
So he gets there, shows up. There's like a red carpet. He's walking up. He's like, how's it going, Hef? Which it's not Hugh Hefner. It's Stanley.
Yep.
And so that was his little cameo.
Got his cameo in first of the MCU.
So cute.
Yep.
Then he goes inside. He's just hanging out at the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, he sees Pepper there. She's all dressed up in the dress that...
And they go dance.
Yes. She bought a dress for herself from him for her birthday.
Yep.
And so she's like, thanks. But they go out onto the balcony. They almost kiss at one point. It was like, okay. I couldn't remember that happening, but okay. Yep.
She's kind of like, oh man. She's kind of uncomfortable with it. I was dancing with the boss. I'm wearing this ridiculous
she's
dress.
very uncomfortable.
I forgot to put on deodorant.
Yeah. But she's like, people are going to think stuff, that something's happening between us, And he's like, why don't we make something happen between us?
Yeah, because he kind of sees, she's always been there for him. She's his only friend. And whenever Jensen was dying, he's like, you got to make some changes, make your life worth living. What's your legacy? Because they always talk about what his legacy is.
Yeah.
Like, these weapons are your legacy.
Yeah.
Or your arc reactor is going to be your legacy. And
exactly.
All this stuff. So, yeah, he's trying to figure that all out now.
Yes. And
is it Pepper?
I don't know. Maybe. So, anyway, he's hanging out. He's, like, getting drinks for him and for Pepper. And Christine Everhart.
Yeah.
Her name. Reporter. Yeah, the reporter. She comes up to him and she's like, how dare you show your face here after what you've done? He's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you know what I mean. Here are these pictures. They were taken yesterday, and it's Stark Industries stuff.
Yep.
With the 10 rings.
Jericho missiles.
Yep.
Yep.
I can't remember the name of the city where it was, but...
Yeah,
But he's like,
made it up.
What is this? So he goes out.
What happened?
He goes out. Obadiah Stane's outside, like, being interviewed by somebody. And he's like, bro.
Did you know about this?
Did you know about this?
What's going on?
What is going on here? And he's like, Tony, what's the matter?
We're going to go have a private talk. Exactly. We're going to get back to you.
Exactly. And he's like, you went behind my back and sold these weapons, even though I told you not to.
I specifically
asked you not to. Exactly.
Yeah. But apparently he's been locked out by the board or whatever.
Exactly. So the board's like, no.
Yeah, we're not giving up our most profitable thing.
Exactly. And so he's like, so of course we're still doing this. And Tony's like, I will have none of this. So he's pissed off and he goes home and he puts on his Iron Man suit and he goes out.
Well, he sees on the TV that a lot of like refugees are being forced out.
Yes.
And the reporter's like, these people are going to die.
Yeah, exactly.
They have no hope. I'm standing here in front of them. They have no hope.
Yeah.
Sucks to be them. They're going to die. The Ten Rings is going to kill them.
Yeah, and the military can't do anything because they're using those civilians as hostages.
Right.
So they can't just go in.
Yeah.
Meat shields.
Yep.
Activate. So he's like, all right, well, I guess I'll have to do something about this. So he puts on his Iron Man suit. He flies all the way to the Middle East.
Yep.
Apparently.
It's got good mileage on that arc reactor, which I guess makes sense.
I mean, hey, I need an arc reactor for my car, so I don't have to buy gas.
For a lot of things.
Ooh.
Come on, Tony, get on it.
Exactly. So he attacks the bad guys.
Yeah.
And he, like, destroys the bad guys.
Oh, yeah.
He goes crazy in the air.
Yeah.
And saves the civilians.
I like that was cool. I remember the first time, like, whenever they held them all up, you know, they were holding them hostage in front of them.
Yeah, he's
and
like...
he pulled out that little wrist thing that just took them all out.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And then the tank shoots him down.
Yeah.
And he gets up, he's like, rocket.
Yeah, rocket.
And walks away.
It just starts walking off and it just explodes behind him.
Cool guys walk away from explosions.
Oh, definitely. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever told you this. I'll tell you though.
Oh boy, here we go.
It's not a fire explosion, but it's just...
Okay.
This is ridiculous. Not an explosion at all. Okay. So, my mom, if she's listening to this, she'll know exactly what I'm about to tell. Yes. And she will immediately start laughing. So, we were at home one day, and I, like, flushed the toilet, and suddenly the water started, like, spewing out of the toilet.
Oh, no.
Like,
yeah. That's rough.
It was going crazy, and I was like, oh my god, this toilet's about to explode. Because I was probably like a teenager. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so my mom, I don't know if she saw it. I can't remember. But anyway, I like ran out of the bathroom and flew, like, I just like... There was a back door, and I just jumped out of the back door. And in my mind, I was expecting this toilet to, like, explode and for water to, like, shoot out behind me and just, like, push me out the door.
The whole house just explode.
I was like, I felt like I was in the middle of Mission Impossible, and...
Did you at least say to your mom, it's going to explode or something?
I think I did.
To maybe warn her, I hope.
I think I did. And I think she went in there and was like, what? Hold on, let me just turn the water off. But I was just expecting something crazy to happen. And yeah, she was like, you're ridiculous. But yeah, we talk about that occasionally. And it's ridiculous. But that's where my mind goes.
Thank goodness it didn't blow up the house trying to have to explain that to the cops or something. Listen, here's what happened.
But I mean, it was like a water explosion is what I was thinking. Yeah. You know, no fire or anything, just water spout. Like,
yeah.
Oh, crazy. I'm very embarrassed
That's very
about
funny.
that, but
like
you know, when you're young,
you're kids. Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't have been more than 20, you know.
It was early 30s.
It was last year. No.
Yesterday was a tough day.
Oh, no, but I'm pretty sure I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not really sure, but
we'll go with that. Wink, wink.
But yeah, my mom will be laughing.
That's good.
Oh, boy. So yeah, he goes after the bad guys, and then he's flying away. There's explosions all behind him, and the military is like, we got a bogey.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do?
Yep.
And they send out like 2 jet fighters to go after him, and they still can't figure out what it is.
Yeah, and they're having a tough time keeping it on radar because it's so small.
Yes, and so they're like, quick, get Rhodes in here. So Rhodey comes in. He's like, I don't know what that is. Let me call Tony. Maybe it's something Stark Industries related, you know. Maybe he's got something that's...
In the area.
In the area.
Yeah.
So he calls him, and Tony's like, I'm just driving in my car. You know?
Top's down. That's why it's so loud.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, why are you out of breath? I'm just going for a run. He's like, I thought you were in your car. He's like, drove my car to take a run. It's like, okay, well, we just want to know, is there anything out here? And he's like, no, nothing you need to worry about. And then the fighter jets start shooting at him.
Yeah, they're like, engage.
Mm-hmm. So they're like, well, might as well shoot it down because we don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So they shoot at him.
Shoot a missile that deploys flares, like, really late. So, kind of still blows him up a little bit.
Yeah, and then finally, at one point, he, like, goes behind them.
Yeah,
and they're like,
the brakes.
Oh, okay, he's gone. We can't find him. And so he calls Rhodey.
Like, they assume he's dead, even though, like, he obviously wasn't.
Yeah, they're like, well, it's gone now, so I guess we're good. And so then he calls Rhodey, and he's like, okay, it's me. And he's like, yeah, I know it's you. Duh, you're talking to me. Hi. He's like, no, it's me. That's me. I'm the bogey. And Rhodes is like, wait, what? And so the fighter jet turns over and the other guy sees that there's Iron Man is like hanging on to the back.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, shake him off. And I'm sitting there going, why hasn't Rhodes said anything? But I mean, he wants to keep it a secret. I get it.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, you could have killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
By not saying anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, he
barrel rolls a lot. Get him off there.
They barrel roll. They finally shake him off and he flies off. And when he does, he hits the wing of the other plane. Yeah. And it's going down. The guy ejects, but his parachute won't pull. Yeah. And so he's like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. And so, of course, Tony flies in, punches the release. Yeah, punches the release. The guy is saved, and then he flies off into the sunset. Yeah. And Rhodes is like, whew, well, that was close.
Like, how are we going to explain this? Just say it was a practice exercise or something that went wrong or something.
Exactly.
And Rhodey's ringtone, we talked about this before, or at the end of the movie, that was the Iron Man animated show theme song. Apparently it plays like 2 other times, like in his room and at the casino or something.
Okay, because I was like, I don't recognize this, but I feel like it's supposed to be
I don't
important.
really recognize it, but I just remember it. Okay. Because I didn't watch much of that show.
Yeah. So he knows that the bad guys are still getting weapons from Stark Industries. Yep. And
so he's got to find out how.
Yeah, he's got to figure out how they're doing it, where all the weapons are, so that he can go destroy them. Because that's what he's the peacemaker now, basically. Yeah. So he's like, I got to destroy these things.
Yeah. So he's like, Pepper,
I need you to do this. Yeah, and we didn't mention that Obadiah Stane shows up at the Ten Rings place and gets the schematics or whatever for the old Iron Man suit, and actually takes the old Iron Man suit, and he's like, okay, this is going to go to section 16 or whatever, and we're going to work on it there. Yeah.
And so, he uses a little neural paralyzer on the main bald guy. Yes. And is like, you're dead. Basically. He's not dead, but he leaves him there, and then his soldiers have taken the guards captive. Yeah. And they shoot them all, and I imagine they're going to shoot the leader as well.
Yeah, probably.
But Obadiah doesn't want to get his hands dirty.
Yeah, exactly, because he's, not that kind of guy.
Yeah, so they're going to load up that suit and take off.
So, yeah, he sends Pepper in to get the files, but before, she agrees to it, she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I quit. Yeah. And he says something about, you're the only person that I have, or whatever.
He's like, you stood by me while I was doing bad things. Yeah. And I didn't realize it.
Yeah, he's like, you used to help me out with all this stuff, and now that I want to, be a good guy and, stop these people from having weapons, you're not going to help me. And she's like, okay, fine. I guess that makes sense. I'll go. So she heads off. Meanwhile, the scientists are working on the Iron Man suit, the old one, so that they can make a new big one. There's a guy there with a really, really weird haircut.
So weird. It's like he shaved it into a horseshoe bald pattern.
Yeah, it's strange.
It's weird.
You do know who that is, though.
No.
That's, it's Peter Billingsley, a.k.a. Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
Oh, weird.
That's him. His hair is not really like that, I don't think. But he and Jon Favreau are good friends because he's like an elf also.
Oh yeah, okay.
So yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Anyway, so that's pretty neat.
But he said, "I'm no Tony Stark. I can't figure out how to do this. It's not possible."
Yeah, because he said, Stain is like, Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. Yeah, he's like, but I'm not Tony Stark.
He said it all whimpering. I'm not Tony Stark.
Exactly.
It's great.
Oh, man.
And that Jeff Bridges delivery was so good.
Oh,
in a cave
with a box of scraps.
That was so good.
Okay.
So ridiculous. That's good.
I love it. So he doesn't have an arc reactor though to power the suit, and he's like, why haven't you made one? That's what he's talking about. You know, he's like, why haven't you made one? You've got like this, there's this huge arc reactor above them. It's like, can you not figure out how to do this? You've got an example right above you.
That was like Tony's dad's big project.
Yeah, in like the 70s
trying to create a different energy source.
Yeah, because the hippies were all about, you know, hey, we should like make something that's not gonna be bad for the environment, man. That was my hippie voice.
That was a good hippie. It's we all knew you were a hippie.
I love the way I'm like waving my hand around too.
For
ridiculous.
the video.
Yeah, the video that we don't have. So since he doesn't have an arc reactor, he's like, well, I know where one is, so I'm just gonna go get one. Yeah. Straight from Tony's chest.
Well, first we got Pepper infiltrating to get the computer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
She's got to go get the files. She's going to get all the evidence for him. Mm-hmm. She finds the video that was made of Tony when he was captured.
Yes.
And there's a translate button on it, which is very helpful on this video. That translate what they're saying too. Mm-hmm. Yo, you didn't tell us we were capturing the great Tony Stark.
Yeah.
What's all this, man? The price just went up. So he ordered this hit on Tony. Mm-hmm.
And now Pepper knows it. And she starts like copying the files. Obadiah Stane comes in and starts talking to her.
Yeah.
And she is the worst at this. She is not keeping her cool.
She's not sleuthy at all.
She does manage to put a screensaver on so he can't see what she's doing.
Covered the drive with a newspaper.
Exactly. And then
I like that, she put the screensaver up, but like he's just like, oh, I guess she was just
staring at the screensaver.
She loves that car.
She really likes hot rods.
Yeah. Okay. And she left up the little screen that said, download complete. Yeah. Oh, she messed up.
So yeah, when she gets out of there, he knows that she's done something. She's copied these files. And, she didn't have a chance to close out that because he was standing right there the whole time.
Nah, that's true, yeah.
But anyway, she's walking out. She sees Phil Coulson, and she's like, yep, our meeting is right now. Follow me.
He's been trying to have that meeting with them forever.
Exactly, because he's already talked to Tony, like, once and to Pepper twice. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll get around to it.
Yeah.
And so she's finally like, okay, you're having it right now. Yep. We're doing a walk-in meeting right now. Come on, let's go. So she calls Tony and tells him, and while she's on the phone with him, that's when Obadiah Stane shows up and uses the little device.
Little paralyzer. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And just straight up rips it out of his chest.
Yeah. And I like that he has a little device to pull it out so nice and neat. It's like, where did you get that?
Where did you make this? How did you make this device? Come on, man.
Maybe he stole that from Tony's workshop or something.
Yeah, maybe. So I was imagining, it's kind of like one of those, you get those little grabber things that is like, it looks like a shark.
Yeah.
Shark. So it's like, can you just imagine just taking a shark thing and just being like, pulling out?
Would have been great.
Would have been great. I love it. So in my mind, that's what I think it is. It's just kind of been fixed a little differently.
Yep.
Yeah. So he grabs it. He does like a little monologue as villains tend to do.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. Just wanted to let you know before you die that
you're gonna die.
These are the things that are gonna be happening while you're gone.
And I think actually he should have really talked longer, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Because if he'd have just talked until he died, he'd have been good. But he left too early.
He's a villain. And
Tony,
they always mess up
or talk too short.
They always mess up with these monologues.
Yeah, you got to get them just right.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, Pepper has she has Coulson with her and like 5 other agents or whatever.
They're gonna go arrest him. Mm-hmm. She called Rhodey also.
Yes, she told Rhodey what she was doing and to go check on Tony because she lost contact with him.
Yeah.
So Rhodey's like, all right, I'll be there in a second. So he heads off. And so she goes inside. They go to Sector 16 or whatever and walk in there. Well, actually, they can't get in there.
Right. Her clearance doesn't
Her
let
clearance
him
does
in.
not let her in there. And so she's like, I don't know why it won't let me in there, even though it says, like, specific staff only. I should have access to everything. It's like, well,
Coulson's like, I got this. Here you go.
Exactly.
She's like, oh, is it a lockpick? Are you going to pick the lock?
She goes, it's a little device. It's going to pick the lock. It's like, no.
It's just going to blow up the door.
Pepper. Girl. You don't know what operation is, and now you think that's a lockpick.
Yeah.
But then he's like, you might want to back up. And she realizes at that point, oh, it's going to blow up. Okay. I should probably get out of here. So they get in there.
And Stan hears him blow it up. And he's like, oh, crap.
Well, he was already in there.
Yeah, and he's like, I got to get my suit going.
Exactly. So he jumps in the big Iron Man suit. Whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Ironmonger.
Ironmonger, thank you. So he gets into the big Ironmonger suit and hides, basically.
He hides behind a bunch of chains like E.T. with stuffed animals. He's
what
just
in the
like
world?
in there.
He's like, it's real dark in here.
It's such a small little space. I like to think he's just like crouching down in there. He's like, oh, I hope they don't see me.
Exactly. So they see like the old suit and they're like, she's like, oh, I expected it to be bigger.
Yeah.
And so she's like looking around. There are a bunch of chains. You said that it reminded you of like the beaded
those beaded doors.
Beaded doors
The teenage girls always have.
I had one. I mean, so, Anyway, it did look a lot like that. But then she sees two eyes open and look at her, and it's Ironmonger. And it comes out, and he's trying to kill Pepper.
Yeah.
There's explosions. I'm assuming all those agents died except for Coulson because...
I assume so, yeah.
Because
he wasn't supposed to stick around. Like, his original part was supposed to be really small.
Oh, okay.
Like, his original name was just supposed to be Agent.
Okay.
So they expanded it just because he worked so well with everybody else.
Okay.
Clark Gregg's just awesome.
So, yeah, he somehow manages to survive it, but it never shows how.
No.
Just like he somehow made it into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though...
Yeah. And we know how that happened, and it was not satisfactory.
So, anyway, I was like, how did he survive?
Yeah.
But she makes it out.
Tony's crawling to his thing while all this is going on, trying to get down to the basement to get the arc reactor. He's so close. He could have used a little rolling thing to roll over to it, but doesn't.
There was a little dolly thing that there's like a little dolly that you use to change your oil and stuff like that, work on your car, and it was right in front of him. I was like, Tony!
roll
yourself over! But no, he pushes it out of the way and keeps crawling. I'm like, Tony! You're supposed to be a smart guy, and I was able to say, hey, maybe you should do that, and you didn't?
Yeah.
Am I smarter than Tony Stark? It's possible. Sure.
You do have an arc reactor.
Shh, don't tell everybody.
Sorry.
So anyway, he gets over to the table and he starts trying to pull the arc reactor down.
He just can't
get it. And he falls to the ground and it's like, oh, this is the end of Tony Stark.
But his hero.
And then a hero comes along.
Yes. Little arm claw man robot.
Just picks it up and puts it down right next to him.
Go. Like a boy.
And so he smashes it open and he sticks it in. He's good to go.
Yeah. I mean, kind of. He still looks like crap.
Yeah, he looks like crap.
He was
exactly.
really dead.
Rhodes shows up and he's like, oh, okay, hey. Glad to see you're just laying here on the floor.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Yeah, he's going after Pepper.
Exactly. So he puts on his suit, gets out there. Meanwhile, Rhodey sees like a new suit. And he's like...
Next time.
It's like...
Nope. Not you.
Not that actor, but Rhodey, yes. Next time. Yeah. So he follows after him in a car, I guess.
Yep.
And he flies out and he's going out to try to save Pepper. And there's a big fight with Ironmonger.
Yeah, and
in the middle of a highway.
The CGI still had a long way to go at this point, honestly. It wasn't bad, but there were a lot of parts I was like, man, that Ironmonger does not look good. Iron Man looked pretty good.
Oh yeah, Iron Man looked good.
But Ironmonger just kind of looked like, it was like you're watching Iron Giant a little bit.
Oh yeah,
sometimes
it did
a little
have
animated.
Yeah.
So yeah, but pretty good for the time.
So yeah, there's a big fight on the highway. At one point, this woman...
Oh, this lady. So yeah, Ironmonger, like they go out into the street for whatever reason, because they've been fighting in a little parking lot area. I don't know what it was. And this woman in this van with like 5 kids in it, 4 or 5 kids.
Yeah.
He picks up this van. They're all screaming, of course. He's going to slam it into Tony. And Tony's able to like knock his legs out or something, or shoot him knock him back.
I don't know. Gets him out of the way.
Yeah.
And he
catches
grabs the
van, front of the van. So they're all staring him. Yes. And they're still screaming. This lady's in the air.
Yes.
So her big idea, hit the gas.
Hit the gas. It's like, girl, this is not going to...
Where are you going?
This is not helping anybody.
Yes.
And so he finally manages to set it down.
Uh-huh.
But she's like foot and pedal to the metal.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, as soon as the tires hit, she just starts, like, running over Tony. He's, like, stuck to the top.
And there's other cars there that, like, she might hit somebody. Like, she's just...
And Tony's just looking in there like, ma'am, stop.
Stop. I saved you. Stop it.
So she ends up, like, running over it.
Yeah. Oh, it's just like, oh, boy.
It's like, oh, my gosh, woman.
That was bad.
You need to think, about what you've done.
Yeah. So he needs to get him out of that area. So he goes up into space, basically.
Yeah.
Lures him up there.
He lures him up there. He keeps going higher and higher. Of course, he has worked on the whole de-icing thing because he doesn't want to ice over. But Obadiah Stane doesn't realize that that's going to be a problem. So he starts icing over. And Tony's like, yeah, you didn't think about that, did ya?
How'd you solve the icing problem on your new machine?
And he's like, what?
The whole what now?
the what? Excuse me? So, yeah, he ices over, and... They
fall.
They fall.
But we don't see where Ironmonger ends up. I guess maybe his power came back on. I
guess so.
would be very surprised, because... he has to take off. When he takes off like a rocket.
Yeah.
Like straight up, he's got huge
oh my god,
boosters.
It's like a space shuttle.
Yeah.
Launching.
So like Iron Man's able, like when he does that and falls down originally, like in the beginning, he like barely makes it back. He's able to shoot and kind of fly an arc. Yeah, Ironmonger's not going to do that.
Exactly. And like as Tony's falling, he can kind of like thrust a little bit to stop himself. Don't look at me like that just because I said thrust. Stop it.
He's able to like thrust his hips a little.
He's like pelvic thrusts in the air. Let me slow myself down.
Yeah. And he put a little thruster in there and just kind of shoots out.
I can't. So ridiculous. Yeah.
Anyway.
So he can use his thrusters.
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
He can use his thrusters to kind of slow himself down. But yeah, I don't see how Ironmonger would be able to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess he's so tough that like he could have just landed and just crawled out of a hole or something. Maybe he fell in the ocean. Yeah. Even then, that would be a bad thing for him. I don't know. But he gets right back over there.
Yeah, he manages to get back.
Another thing about Ironmonger, apparently it makes his voice deeper for some reason.
It's very deep.
It's like a Batman suit or something.
Yeah,
he's like... voice modulator on there.
He's like, Tony Stark.
Tony, where are you, Tony? Yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
I don't know. Anyway, so they get back to Stark Industries. Mm-hmm. Pepper's still there, of course. Mm-hmm. And he had
never leaves. Come on, Pepper. Get alive. Sorry.
he had talked to Pepper too and was like, hey, I'm fine. Here's what I need you to do. Go back inside. Go to the arc reactor. I need you to turn all this stuff, all the knobs, basically. And
flip some switches, turn some knobs, press a button.
Exactly. There's a button there. And when I tell you to press it, you press it.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. So she goes in there. She's like turning all the stuff.
Yeah. Just getting ready. Mainly, it seemed like making a kind of an EMP kind of deal, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like a huge electrical surge. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she does all that, and... He's
still fighting Ironmonger up there. He's getting crushed.
Yeah, they're fighting up there at the top of the building. He takes his helmet off, or Ironmonger grabs the helmet and just crushes it, basically.
He's able to blind him. How did he blind him?
He has like flares, some kind of flares, and that's what it is. It kind of. No, he jumps on the back of it.
That's right.
And he's like, "This looks important." He just like starts pulling stuff.
And it takes out. It takes out his optical. Mm-hmm. connection.
Yeah. So he loses sight.
Mm-hmm. Loses his mind.
So he ends up like opening the suit and is like just standing there talking inside the suit.
Monologuing again.
Of course, that's one does. And where
there's like a glass thing over the thing, I guess.
Yeah.
That was to showcase it or whatever. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. But yeah, there's a glass. It's like in an atrium kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's really starting to break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he just keeps breaking like all kinds like he doesn't shoot Tony. He just shoots all the glass out. Oh yeah.
His targeting stuff's messed up too. Mm-hmm. So he's like shooting missiles way off.
Way off.
Like, dude, have you even video gamed ever in your life?
And so anyway, Tony's just like hanging there. Yeah. You know, he's like trying to hold on and he's like, Pepper, hit the button. She's like, but you told me not to until you get out of the way.
Oh my God, hit it.
Hit the button.
He's like, you'll die. Like, dude, he's going to kill me. Like,
just hit it.
What do you even want?
Tony Stark does not die.
He does not. Surprisingly. He's in the other movies.
So anyway, she does hit the button. The arc reactor explodes or whatever. It has this big
our first thing. Marvel beam column of light in the sky.
Yeah, so big column of light. What's his face stuck in it? What's his face?
Ironmonger, Jeff Daniels. Obadiah Stane.
Did you say Jeff Daniels?
Jeff Bridges.
There you go.
I get him confused all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Dumber shows up.
So anyway, he's in the beam, directly in the beam. Uh-huh. And I forget what happens to him.
I think he basically just gets electrocuted.
Okay.
It seems like, oh.
But anyway, he's down.
He did.
And Iron Man's still okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine.
Yeah, he kind of got blown out of the blast radius, I guess.
I guess so. And like half the lights in the city go out around that area.
Right.
And then it's like the next day or whatever, there's a big press conference that's about to go on, and everybody's like, who is Iron Man?
And they do, Clark Gregg has a little story set up for him already. You were in wherever, I don't know. And
you were on a yacht.
That's right, yeah.
And with a bunch of people, he's like, can it just be me and Pepper? Yeah. It's like,
It's like, no, this is your story.
No, this is your story. We're sticking to it. Iron Man is your bodyguard.
Yeah, which is, in the comics, that was like his way of keeping his identity secret for a long time. It's like, I got a bodyguard, Iron Man. He does all my stuff. And I'm just Tony Stark.
And they're going to say that Obadiah Stane was on vacation, and then they're gonna like stage a plane crash for him, like when he's on his way home, and that's how he dies.
Right.
So there we go.
There you go.
That's their story.
All cleaned up.
So he's like, get on out there, do me proud.
Yep.
And then he keeps talking to Pepper, and he finally says shield. And it's like, okay, there we go. That sounds better than whatever this long thing is.
We all cheered.
Exactly.
We cried a little. It was great.
Wow, it's so cool. So anyway, he goes up there. He's given his little conference, and he's like, I'm going to stick to the note cards. And he starts talking. Somebody asks him questions like, is Iron Man really your bodyguard?
It was, what's her name?
Was it her? Okay.
Yeah.
And
like, do you really
expect us to believe this and everything? And then Rhodey's like whispering in his ear, stick to the cards. And he's like, truth is,
I am Iron Man.
Exactly. And it's like, it's like, okay.
Credits rolling.
So there we go. He announces to everybody, he's Iron Man. He's not going to have a secret identity.
Yeah.
He's just going to be straight up
Iron Man.
I'm Iron Man. So there you go.
And like in the MCU, like nobody really does have a secret identity except Spider-Man. Because, like, Thor's just Thor.
That's
Captain
true.
America, Steve Rogers.
Everybody knows it's Steve Rogers.
Maybe Black Widow. I don't know.
Ant-Man?
Yeah, maybe Ant-Man. I could see that.
Does everybody know that Bruce Banner is the Hulk?
I guess all the cops and everything know Ant-Man is Ant-Man. Anyway, Hulk, I don't know. It's hard to say. Some people at least know it.
Yeah.
So it's not a very good secret if they do have it.
Yeah. But most people, they don't do a lot of...
They just don't...
Like, secret identities. They have, their real names and stuff. But, yeah.
So, that's an interesting thing. And then we get our first after credits scene. No mid-credits.
No mid-credits, just the after.
They haven't worked up to that.
Nope.
And it's Nick Fury.
Yep. So he walks into his house, turns on the lights and everything. Or he doesn't even turn on the lights, I don't think.
Yeah, he's like, hey, Jarvis.
And you see somebody standing by the window.
Yeah, and Jarvis is like, like, it's all messed up for some reason.
So Nick Fury walks up.
Sammy J. Mm-hmm. Samuel L. Jackson.
And he's got his little eye patch and everything. He's like, you think you're so cool. You think you're the only superhero.
Bro, old news. And
We've been dealing with people like this since the 40s.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You're right, yeah. You made a good point. Like, there weren't that many superheroes in this universe, at least.
Yeah, because I was like, well, okay, there's been Captain America. There's been Captain Marvel at this point.
I guess technically he could have been dealing with other ones throughout the years, but like maybe he hung out with the Wizard or something. I don't know. But
and then there were other like super soldiers because you have what's his face from I can't remember
Nuke.
Isaac. His name was Isaac something from
Jessica Jones. No.
Captain America, not Captain America. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, U.S. Agent. Whoever became U.S. Agent.
No. This is before the guy who was
Isaiah
a super
Washington.
soldier. That's his name.
Yeah.
I was like the guy who was a super soldier and they like had him go in and stuff.
Before Cap even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean they did have that.
They did.
So I mean I would consider him a superhero. Even though you don't really know much of his story.
Oh, I thought you were going to like accuse me. Even though you don't really see him as a superhero.
No, even though, we haven't heard much of his story other than,
his stuff in the war.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. So yeah, there's been
not very many, but
there've been a few, and he's probably been working on the Avengers Initiative for a while since. I mean, he was typing it up after Captain Marvel or whatever.
Plus, you've also got the X-Men, but they don't have those.
Yeah,
we
don't talk about them yet.
Yeah,
I hope soon though.
Yeah, because
Bruno's right now.
Because you would have like Wolverine and Magneto.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, we got this guy moving the Golden Gate Bridge over there. Probably know about that.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, but yeah.
But the only ones in the MCU that are before that we know of, really, are Captain America and the two captains.
Mm-hmm. The
Captain
Caps.
Marvel. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And he's like, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative.
The Avengers.
Avengers.
Yep.
Avengers Ensemble.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, yep. So that's like, oh wow, the Avengers are going to be coming.
Yeah, man.
But first, we gotta have the team.
Gotta meet the team.
Gotta get them their own movies.
Yeah.
Before we can bring them all together.
Yep.
So, there we go. That was Iron Man.
It was.
That's the first one.
Good. It was. I liked it. Mm-hmm. Rewatching it again. I told you this, like, I always, for some reason, get in my mind, farther out I am from watching an Iron Man movie, the more I'm like, I don't know if I really even like the Iron Man movies. And then I go back and watch them, I'm like, I love the Iron Man movies.
Yeah, the Iron Man movies are good.
So
at
good.
least the first one.
I think I like them all. We're going to see.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
Because we're hoping to continue this. Mm-hmm. Maybe like once a month or something. But yeah, this was good. It really, really was good. Didn't feel too long.
No.
And a lot of really funny, nice improv humor, I guess.
Lots of good, like, comedic moments, lots of action.
Nice little Easter eggs for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. And then the thing at the end, I remember being super excited. I don't remember where I saw it or who I saw it with or anything, but I was stoked. So yeah. Who knew it would grow into what it is now?
Yeah.
Back then. This was a real, there was a lot of pressure on this movie because it really needed to succeed.
Yeah, because if it didn't succeed, then there wouldn't be.
Yeah, they were going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's amazing. Incredible Hulk didn't kill it, but here we are.
Yeah. And Incredible Hulk is next.
Yep.
It's the second one. Okay. It actually came out the same year as Iron Man.
Did it?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, well, next time we do one of these, it'll be Incredible Hulk, and it'll be the first time I've seen it
in a while. Have you?
Ever.
You've never
I've never
seen
it. No.
It's the first time I've seen it in a while.
And I've heard not so great things about it, so
we'll
really
see.
Looking forward.
Maybe it'll surprise us.
Maybe it'll be better than expected.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Anything else we need to see about Iron Man? No. I thought Robert Downey Jr. was a great Tony Stark.
Oh my gosh, yes.
He's very Tony Stark isn't like Robert Downey Jr. He looks a lot like him, but he was always very serious and calculating and stuff. So, and then once Robert Downey Jr. played him, I think he kind of changed over a little bit in the comics. So
yeah,
a little more quippy and witty. So I like that.
Yeah, very fun.
Yeah, I like. Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s He's great. Mm-hmm. Good for you, Rob. You did it.
So, we have a snack.
We do.
We didn't have a snack last week,
we did.
But we do have one this time.
We do. And I'm kind of excited about this.
Me too. And I've had them for several days because I went to the grocery store and as I walked in, there was a little display kind of thing, a little basket or two.
Got a podcast?
No. There were these two little baskets and one of them had Reese's eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Because, man, those things are good.
Good stuff.
But then the other one had these, and I was like, this sounds interesting. I'll grab a bag. So these are Lemon Crisp KitKats.
Nice.
So they're like KitKats with, instead of chocolate, they have a lemon flavored cream, white cream, whatever. So like white chocolate or whatever with lemon flavoring. So it sounds pretty good. How
do KitKats rank for you in candy bars?
Oh, pretty high. I really like KitKats.
See, I don't know what it is. Like, I have so many friends that like KitKat's favorite candy bar. Bar none, love them. They are so great. And I've just been like, they're good, but I've just been they're kind of, I don't get them. I just don't get. I don't know what it is. I love that they have so many flavors. That's like my favorite part about KitKats. Is I just want to try all the flavors, all those Japanese flavors or whatever that they have because that's so insane and I love it. It's like Pokemon and I don't know. I find it so interesting that everybody loves Kit Kat so much and I don't have a reason why they shouldn't. I just never thought of it as like a favorite candy bar.
Well, I've always liked those just like regular wafer cookie kind of things. Or not cookies. But, you'll find them. They're like vanilla ones and chocolate ones. And they have strawberry ones and stuff.
Oh,
Just regular wafer things.
Yeah.
I've always liked those. And it's basically that, but with chocolate on it. So that's why I like it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I know you really like Twix. Twix is like your favorite or whatever.
I do love Twix, yes.
I like Kit Kat more than Twix.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Twix are good, though.
You can have all the Kit Kats. I'll eat all the Twix. Oh, I like the yellow chocolate coating. My wafer is stuck at the bottom. It's like a wafer hernia.
So there aren't really, I feel like there aren't that many lemon flavored candy bars.
Yeah.
So this would be interesting.
It's very lemony smelling.
I eat my Kit Kats a weird way, but I'll eat it just normal first, and then I'll eat my second one weird, I guess.
Okay.
My thumb is melting it.
I bite the top off. So it does have chocolate in there. The lemon thing's on the outside.
I mean, it's like the regular wafer.
Yeah, with the chocolate. And just coated in lemon something. Cream.
And the lemon is like, it's not overpowering.
Right. It's good.
It tastes a lot like if you ever get like lemon cookies, like it'll just be the vanilla cookie, but with like the lemon cream in the middle. That's a lot what this tastes like.
Yeah.
And I love those cookies.
Yeah, they're good. The little sandwich cookies. Yeah.
So I'm telling you right now, this is...
It's good. If you like those.
This is something you should try. Now, I don't know if they have like a regular size version of this, because these are like the little individual, like fun size kind of
for Easter
versions.
How do you feel about people that get the regular size Kit Kat and then just bite it whole?
No, those are monsters. Those are straight up monsters. Can't do that. So what I do is I bite the ends off first, the chocolate off the ends, and I bite the chocolate off the sides, and then I try to bite the chocolate off the top, and then I eat the rest of it.
Nice.
The wafer by itself.
I like that. It's kind of like eat Reese's Cups. I just like to separate the wafers in my mouth. Seems like with candy, I just like to separate layers for some reason. I do that with Twix. Because
I was like, what are you doing? Why are you not biting the cookie? And sometimes if I'm feeling really crazy, I will separate the wafers and try to eat them individually.
Yeah.
It usually doesn't work very well, though.
I don't clear the chocolate off, but I do like to eat from the top and just take wafer by wafer. Yeah, it's a good way. It's a very clean Kit Kat there. Not bad. So yeah, I'll go with my rating first. It was really good. I really don't have much wrong to say about it, honestly. Thought the lemon was good and well balanced and
very subtle.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of a bad thing to say about it, really. It's not like, but it's still not my favorite candy. But I can't be mad at it. I'll give it a 9.5.
Nice.
Because it's not my favorite, but it's really good. I got no bad stuff.
Yeah, I don't either. And I am so close. It's so close to a 10 for me.
Yeah.
It's really up there.
How is it compared to a regular Kit Kats for you? You like it better?
I think I like it better.
It is good. I think I like it better than regular.
I like did not expect that. I think that I like it better.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to still stick with a 9.5 like you.
All right.
Because, you know, I know that it's a limited kind of thing. So I'm probably never going to get it again. And so I'm like, I don't want to be like, 10, it's a 10, and then never get to have it again.
Well, a good thing about it is you can give it a 10, it goes away, and people can't dispute it. You're like, well, you've never had it. It was delicious. This mythical candy bar that we had. So,
and I don't know if they've done these before. They may have had these before. I don't know.
Could be. They have so many different flavors,
and they brought it back. Then good for them because that was a great choice.
Keep bringing it.
We'll
take it.
Eat so many of these.
Replace the regular.
I don't know if I'd say replace the regular.
Do it.
But
come on.
It's a great like spring summer kind of snack.
Yeah, it is.
I like them a lot.
Me too. So have you tried any other flavors of Kit Kat you'd like to share with us? I've personally had green tea and it was fine.
Yeah.
Not as good as this, but there's a lot of flavors out there. So what's your favorite? What'd you think of the Iron Man movie? Are you a fan? Which is your favorite Iron Man? We'd like to know, so you can let us know on Twitter at HavingFunCast or on Facebook at HavingFunPod.
Or you can send us an email at havingfunpod@gmail.com.
Yeah. So we're going to go eat a bag of these Kit Kats.
They're so good.
And we hope to see you next time. So go have fun and goodbye.
Bye.